We don't have to worry about some big horde gonna come and, kick down our walls and invade and kill and rape everyone. Just have to worry about our ignorant, stupid youth wanting to destroy this country from within, which I hope doesn't happen. Alright everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair. We have had riots and insanity going on since the whole George Floyd killing, which, by the way, I saw that video and I thought it was relatively reprehensible that happened to him, but when you look at everything in the grand scheme of things, in 2019, 1,001 people or persons were killed by the cops. And in that same year, there's somewhere between 400 and 430 million interactions with police. So if you take 1,000 and divide it by 400 million, you get just an absolute, it's almost non-existent. The number is so small. Again, a large majority of the cops you run into are decent people. They just want to feed their family, pay their bills, and go home at the end of the day. But, like I said before, you get an asshole or an evil person gets in a position of power. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you wind up with people doing fucked up shit. Now, in 2019, there were 9 unarmed blacks killed by the police and 20 unarmed whites. But, with 400 million interactions and 29 people that were unarmed killed by the cops, it's minuscule. All right, in 2019, 48 cops were killed by offenders in the middle of felonious acts. All right, now, in regards to the Black Lives Matter, they want to defund the police because that's going to work out great. Of course, they want more money. It's all about the Benjamins at the end of the day. Like, throwing money at this problem is going to solve anything, because it's not. All right, now, they want to police-free and anti-racist schools. In a lot of these shitty fucking cities that have severe crime problems and race tensions, that's a recipe for disaster. I don't believe that their schools out there are racist as it is. And, just accusing them of that just further alienates, schools in general, which, thanks to No Child Left Behind, they're teaching to the lowest level, and they're pushing a lot of propaganda. Marxist, communist fucks. Just gonna say it. They want to end the for-profit prisons. Now, I agree with this. Throwing people in prison so some company makes money is, I don't know, it just seems really shitty to me. And when that happens, you don't ever want the problem to get fixed. You just want to keep feeding the problem so you can get more money. It's kind of like divorce. Now, I'm also going to say this, that this whole defund the police thing, they're getting mad at this thin ribbon of people at the bottom of the stack, when the problem is actually all the way up to the top. You got judges that are just crazy corrupt. You got, district attorneys and the laws that they deal with. Let's face it, if the cops came and kicked down your door, anyone out there in YouTube land or out in internet land, and they, wanted to do, harm to you, I'm sure they could find at least 10 charges that would have you looking at somewhere between 10 and 25 years in prison. And because the legal system is beyond the average person, the only thing you could really hope for is to take a plea deal and do anywhere from 2 to 5 years, which is typically the lowest level sentence you get for your first crack at prison.
a guy in a pillowcase, a clingy nymphomaniac, 2 bored chicks suffering the backdoor blues.
You ever been fucked in the ass?
What?
And a hitman trapped in the middle without a clue. From the makers of The Project and Red Days comes the second to last worst day of my life. Watch it now on Amazon for only 99 cents.
We are not little Japanese boobs. We are big American titties.
I've compared what's going on here with the fall of the old Soviet monarchy and the ushering in of communism. It's progressing a lot faster today, mainly because I think of the internet and the fact that the millennials were basically groomed for this from the beginning. But as it stands now, American flag, racist. Now, I understand, the Confederate statues, slave owners, they're tearing them down. Listen, I am not a fan of that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because history, that happened back in the day. It's over. And it's neither good nor bad because it's over. And you destroy your history and you forget it, you will rinse and repeat it down the road. Now, with that being said, these Confederate statues can easily be voted down, moved into a museum, and everyone would be happy. Okay, having a mob show up and rip down statues, I think that's pretty stupid. But, that's how a lot of shit went down during the French Revolution and the rise of communism. All right, now the Confederate flag thing. I myself never really saw any use for the Confederate flag. But I never begrudged anyone that did. All right, a lot of those guys were from the South. There's Southern pride and all that other shit. Whatever. And I remember I talked to a couple guys back when I was in the Army, why do you have the rebel flag, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it means. It means defiance. And I was like, okay, defiance, got it, whatever. All right, now they tore down the statue of General Grant. All right, he was basically the general of the Union Army, which destroyed the South and put an end to slavery. FDR. The whole Social Security thing that a lot of these lefties are on because of whatever brain injury or bullshit they have, they can thank FDR because he set all that shit up. They're also going after veteran memorials and graveyards. So you go in the military, you do your deal for God and country, and some shitbag between the ages of 16 and 36 is going to come along with a sledgehammer and break the monuments which you died for. And I also saw pictures of they were dragging coffins and shit out of mausoleums and opening them up. I mean, what the fuck is that? All right, now they're also going after George Washington and the founding fathers. They're racist as well, even though they set this entire country up. Which, by the way, it's not racist. And most of the people that live here enjoy a standard of living which is far beyond anywhere else in the rest of the world. And they enjoy security which has never been matched in all of human history that we can remember. They're now calling Jesus Christ and all of his images racist propaganda. Now, it's funny that the left is pulling out the propaganda card, because when the right tries to point to the fact that the left is operating on propaganda, the media shoots them down, doesn't let that stuff get to the public's ears and eyes, but yet somehow Black Lives Matter gets to say the propaganda word, which is a bunch of bullshit. Oh, and don't you dare say all lives matter. Okay, because then you're just a racist because you don't care about black lives, even though black lives are included in the word all. All right, now here's a little blurb from Chicago. Crime and violence is the highest it's been in 60 years, to include shootings. Minneapolis crime and shootings are exploding. Cops are walking off the job. I don't blame them. Same thing in Chicago. LAPD put out a statement that the crime and all the bullshit that's taking place within their city is up 256%. What do you think is going to happen when these Democrat blue areas cut police, get rid of their budget? Do you think it's going to get any better? Hell no. All right, bottom line, what I'm trying to say here is the left, liberals, and Democrats support all of the horseshit that's going on here, all right, to include the media. They're skewing all of the news that's reaching majority of the people out there. While all of this is going on, the whole COVID thing has basically disappeared. This thing really pisses me off here. That the mass deaths in the retirement homes, care homes, and the blue states and blue areas across this country are astronomical. I believe, was it 60 to 70% of all of the COVID deaths took place in these type of homes. And individuals who tested positive for COVID were sent to these retirement care homes. And you guessed it, blue state, blue controlled areas. And I have heard fuck all about this on the media. This is a huge, huge hint to what they fucking think about you. You should really be worried.